The decolonization of Africa is one of the most transformative chapters in world history. A journey marked by resilience, sacrifice, and the unyielding pursuit of freedom. Between the mid-20th century and the 1970s, nearly all African nations gained independence from European colonial powers. But this path was far from uniform. Each country's struggle bore unique challenges, heroes and turning points. Today we explore how Africa broke the chains of colonial rule. The colonial rule in Africa was solidified in the late 19th century during the Berlin Conference, where European powers divided the continent without African consent. The goal? To exploit Africa's resources and control its strategic territories. This imposed system disrupted indigenous governance, cultures, and economies. The winds of change began to stir after World War II. Thousands of African soldiers fought for European powers, only to return home to inequality and colonial oppression. At the same time, the United Nations Charter advocated for self-determination, inspiring political consciousness across the continent. Leaders like Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana and Jomo Kenyatta in Kenya began to challenge colonial rule. In 1957, Ghana became the first sub-Saharan African country to gain independence. Under Kwame Nkrumah's leadership, Ghana's success became a beacon of hope, igniting movements across the continent. Algeria's fight against French colonial rule was among the bloodiest, involving guerrilla warfare, brutal repression, and widespread casualties. The war culminated in the Evian Accords of 1962, granting Algeria its independence and reshaping France's colonial policies. In Kenya, the Mau Mau Uprising highlighted the lengths to which colonized peoples would go to reclaim their land and rights. The rebellion, led by Kikuyu freedom fighters, faced harsh crackdowns, but eventually forced Britain to grant independence in 1963. Decolonization wasn't just about individual nations, it was also about collective identity. The Pan-African movement, led by figures like Webb Du Bois and Julius Nyerere, sought to unite African nations against neo-colonial influence. This movement birthed organizations like the African Union, aimed at fostering solidarity and economic cooperation. While independence brought freedom, it also revealed challenges. New nations grappled with political instability, economic dependency on former colonial powers, and ethnic divisions exacerbated by arbitrary borders drawn during colonization. Today, Africa stands as a testament to the resilience of its people. Decolonization was not the end, but the beginning of a long journey towards self-determination and prosperity. The stories of liberation remind us that freedom is never given, it is fought for and earned.